Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Friday, December 15th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. The NDAA, more bridges shut down, terrorist attack thwarted, and DNA test gone wrong. It's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, Congress passed a $866 billion defense bill, the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act. It includes an extension of Section 702 of the FISA Court. So here's the very short of this. The FISA Court allows intel agencies to collect data on foreigners overseas. Well, you can't do that against Americans. The Fourth Amendment protects Americans from unwarranted searches and seizures. But this doesn't extend to foreigners. The problem is, in the process of collecting information on foreigners, information is often collected on American citizens as well. And there's been many abuses of using that information. And there's many Republicans and Democrats who want to reform this and require a warrant to get this information on Americans. But no. Queers for Palestine shut down the Manhattan Bridge on Monday. Now, if you're confused about Queers for Palestine, because if someone's LGBTQ in Gaza, they'd be killed, don't think about it too hard. Just consider them different fingers on the same fist. Well, these same type of people just shut down the 10 freeway in the middle of Los Angeles as well. Police arrested 75 people, but not before thousands of lives were disrupted. I mean, who knows if ambulances needed to get through? But it's not just random people in New York or LA. Dozens of Biden administration staffers went for a vigil in the front of the White House calling for a ceasefire. They wore masks and sunglasses to conceal their identities. White House staffers. Danish intel agencies say they have exposed Hamas infrastructure in Europe. They say a terrorist attack was foiled. German authorities arrested 3 members of Hamas in Berlin. They had a weapons cache where arms were kept in a state of readiness against Jewish institutions in Europe. And Danish authorities arrested 3 suspects as well. No word yet on if there's a link between the two. Got to be careful with these DNA tests. You may not like the results. A couple sought help from a Boston fertility doctor 40 years ago. And it turns out he secretly used his own sperm. The doctor was a former Harvard med school professor, and the mom was told that the sperm was going to come from a med school student who resembled her husband, who you do not know. Turns out it was his. They discovered this when the daughter, now 40 years old, took a 23andMe DNA test. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith, the great Bill O'Reilly, with your message of the day. Next.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Friday, so now the House committees investigating the Biden family finances have a formalized inquiry secured by a majority vote. That means that failure to cooperate with oversight and judiciary can incur substantial criminal penalties, including jail time. Hello, Hunter Biden, who brazenly defied a congressional subpoena on Wednesday. Now, Trump guy Steve Bannon did the same thing. The FBI arrested him. The Justice Department prosecuted. Bannon is appealing his 4-month prison sentence. Same thing happened to another Trump person, Peter Navarro, who's appealing as well. So, Attorney General Merrick Garland will have to charge the Hunter monster, correct? How can Garland dodge that? Well, if there's a way, old Merrick will find it. But there is a good chance that Hunter will wind up in a court of law. What a colossal embarrassment for the United States. The son of a sitting president disrespecting Congress, apparently with his father's approval. Joe Biden knew that his son was not going to honor the subpoena. Finally, not one House Democrat voted to explore exactly how tens of millions found its way to the Biden family. Not one. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. All right, let's go to the mail. Lena, concierge member, I hope. Biden's entire presidency has been staged and choreographed, been giving questions and answers since he became president. He's told which journalists to pick, and a few nervy journalists can punch through, but not many. That's kind of accurate, I would say. I would. David, concierge member, I'm glad, Bill, you mentioned News Nation today. They appear to be the only network that attempts anything near fair recitation of the day's events. I'm enjoying my experience at News Nation. I was on last night with Cuomo. You guys should check it out. I'm on Monday with Leland Vittert, ex-Fox guy, and Wednesday with Cuomo. Eddie Garcia, Douglasville, Georgia. No doubt the media is biased against the former president. That would be Trump. Where is Bob Woodward's book excoriating Joe Biden? That's an interesting question. Woodward couldn't write a book like that because he's the executive editor of the Washington Post. He's some editor there. He couldn't write a book about Biden's failures, and then he wouldn't get invited to any parties in D.C. Michael Rivard, Mentone, Alabama. Mr. O, can you please tell us what President James Buchanan could have done to prevent the Civil War? I will tell you in the book, Confronting the Presidents, which will come out next September, but briefly, the South was defying the federal government violently, and Buchanan sat there and did nothing. Federal troops were in Fort Sumter, South Carolina. Okay? They needed food and ammo. Buchanan wouldn't send it. The Confederate rebels who were leading this secession movement saw the weakness, emboldened it. Lincoln came in, war was a fait accompli. Buchanan, the worst president of all time. In a moment, something you might not know. If you or your business is falling behind filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You do not have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If Anthem Tax Service cannot reduce your current monthly payment with the IRS or state, or they don't put you in a better position, you might qualify for the 100% money back guarantee. Please call Anthem Tax Services 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 84 years ago today, the most financially successful film of all time premiered in Atlanta. The plot features Georgia native Scarlett O'Hara and her life during the Civil War. Here is the story of Gone with the Wind.
Red! You go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
In 1926, author Margaret Mitchell quit her job as a reporter to recover from a broken ankle. While convalescing, she used a secondhand typewriter to craft a novel called Gone with the Wind. It was published in June 1936. Wind was a sensation in Georgia and sold millions all over the USA. 1 year later, Margaret Mitchell won the Pulitzer Prize. Then she sold the rights to MGM Studios for $50,000. Gone with the Wind debuted on December 15th, 1939. Adjusted for inflation, it remains the biggest box office hit of all time. Total ticket sales, $3.4 billion. Wind won 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actress, Supporting Actress, and Screenplay. Despite the accolades, Gone with the Wind is not very popular these days. Cancel culture has come for Scarlett and her crew. HBO banished the film in 2020 because the network believed it glorifies slavery. And here's something else you might not know. Gone with the Wind was the first major film to premiere outside of Hollywood or New York City. To match its setting, MGM released the movie in Georgia, Atlanta. The governor of Georgia declared the event an official holiday. Parades were thrown, locals wore top hats and Confederate uniforms. In total, 1 million people showed up to celebrate Gone with the Wind. But because of segregation, the film's black cast members were not allowed to attend the premiere. Awful. Back after this. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.